Welcome back. You're still watching Network Africa on Channels Television. Now, according to an ANC spokesperson, representatives from South Africa's governing ANC and the Gupta family have agreed to meet. The Guptas have been at the center of a row about whether they exert undue political influence on the government. The ANC spokesperson, that's Zizi Kodwa, explained that the National Executive Committee has raised a number of concerns and it's imperative to address them. The Gupta family has welcomed the plans by South Africa's governing ANC to look into its alleged political influence over the government. Now, just before the South Africa ruling party opted to go in this direction regarding the Gupta scandal, it went ahead to reiterate its full confidence in President Jacob Zuma, who's been marred by several corruption scandals. The latest is the controversy, which is still ongoing, but was heard on March 17th in Parliament. That's regarding the Gupta family. In that instance, President Zuma was accused of being under the influence of a large business family of Indian origin who intervened for the allocation of ministerial posts. For more on how everyday South Africans are taking this matter, the CEO of Junto Media, that's Mr. Lucas Malloy, joins us from Johannesburg. Mr. Malloy, thank you very much. It's good to have you again on Network Africa.
Cynthia, thank you very much and good day to your viewers.
Good day to you, Mr. Malloy. Thank you. Now, the ANC has expressed its full confidence in President Zuma, but does it actually reflect the stance of everyday South Africans?
Cynthia, that's a difficult one because you see the ANC might be the majority in government, but there is honestly a lot of drive out of the ANC, and that I suppose at the end of the day the coming elections will prove where the ANC stands. But talking to individuals and that is not really the reflection of what the people feel and people are saying. You'd realize that the president has lost confidence, or people have lost confidence in the president. But now the fear is that this loss in confidence is spilling to the party as well, because now it becomes the issue where people say if the ANC is unable to see and to find remedy on what its president is doing, is it still a party that represents the majority of South Africans?
Based on the conversation we had earlier on, you also mentioned that the Gupta scandal has opened a can of worms, including speculation that South Africa is now being run by private businesses. Do you care to elaborate further?
Look, at the end of it, the Gupta scandal, it's not the only scandal when we're speaking about corporate capture of the state. When the Minister of Finance, Minister Nene, was fired in December, he was replaced by Minister Van Rooyen, and there is talk that the move to really remove Minister Van Rooyen after 4 days in office was driven by business people, and you're looking at business people. Names that are being mentioned here are names such as the Ruperts, names names of the Oppenheimers who own De Beers mines, and that names like Patrice Motsepe are coming up. That it was not the president's decision to remove Minister Van Rooyen out of that office, but it was the call of business, sort of calling president to order that that is not the minister that we want in cabinet. Now, you remember that constitutionally, the president has got the full decision on who he appoints.
Yes.
Ministerial position. So if that is the case, whereby he really employs people in that office, and business can force him to retract that, then yes, it is a concern for the country, because that means that the president's ability to rule has been greatly captured by private business.
Final question, and if you can just let us know in about 30, 35 seconds, Mr. Malloy, based on the scandals, back-to-back scandals we've seen President Zuma experience from last year up until, today even, do you think it will be used by the opposition during elections later this year as a tool?
Definitely, with no doubt. It has already started happening,
Yes.
You would find at the State of the Nation address, you'd remember the COPA leader, Mr. Lekota, said that President was not honorable and to hold office, and he opted to go out of Parliament instead of listening to the President. We've seen the EFF saying the President must fall and walking out. We've seen the DA also saying that the President was no longer a man fit to hold office. So opposition is really holding on to that one, and I hope the ANC will find a way out of it, because it's not only the opposition but the voters are to ask the question themselves.
Mr. Lucas Malloy, CEO of Junto Media, thank you so much for joining us on Network Africa. We appreciate your time. Well, I know that we told you we'd be telling you about a South Africa ballet protege who has actually won a scholarship, but we'll have to bring you that tomorrow. So please just stay tuned for that on our next edition of the program. But for now, we want to bring you our top feedback of the day. Yesterday, Twitter turned 10, and we asked you what you loved most about Twitter, and the top tweet is coming from Adetunji Jamiu Adeneko. He says its messages are absolutely correct and reliable. The second top feedback is coming from Yana Barka Cafe. He says, I love its reach. It's the media innovation of the century. The third top tweet is coming from Iwobi Kingsley. He says the seamless manner with which they connect people around the world is what he loves most about Twitter. And what we love most about Twitter is the fact that we get to hear from you, our dear viewers. Thank you so much for sending your feedback. Please keep them coming. On that note, here's our question of the day. Is Egypt the business model which Africa should follow? What are your thoughts on that? Feel free to send us your feedback either via email or Twitter. The address and handles are right there on your screen. The address and handles will appear on your screen in just a moment. Thank you for watching Network Africa. It's at Net Africa CTV and at CYNKE. I'm Cynthia Are.